And so we sit upon the end of an era. The end of Smackdown on the USA Network. Starting next week, not only does Smackdown move over to Fox, but it also loses its current identity and name. You see, it'll no longer be called Smackdown Live, just like years ago when WWF kicked the F out and became WWE. Well, starting next week, Fox has made Vince McMahon drop the live part, and it'll now be known as Friday Night Smackdown. Which, by the way, I don't think California was going to catch it live anyway. I believe they were going to be on a tape delay, which got the Amplified Man thinking, I really feel bad for people that live on the West Coast. Being on the East Coast, we kind of take things for granted when it comes to prime time. When it comes to live television, us East Coasters, we take it kind of for granted because we're in the perfect situation. We're all driving home from work at 5 o'clock, right? Most of you guys. Not me. I do many other things that don't involve a 9 to 5, thankfully. But a lot of people are driving home or the school day's done, you got your homework done, and by 7, 8, 9 o'clock when prime time is upon us East Coasters get everything live. I never stopped and thought, the West Coast, what are they doing when it's 8 o'clock prime time for us? Is their prime time 5 o'clock? Or do they run a delay and they don't get it live? I started to think about that with this Smackdown shit, and I gotta be honest, I still don't know how it works. Maybe some Californians or anybody on the West Coast can fill me in on what your prime time truly is. Do you West Coast people consider 5 o'clock your prime time, or is it still 8? But you're getting a lot of shit taped. And if that's the case, I feel bad for you guys all the way around. I would never want my 5 o'clock to be prime time, and I wouldn't want my 8 o'clock to be taped shit. If that makes sense. I don't know. I just really never thought about it until now. That's gotta suck for the West Coast, man. But I guess when you grow up with something, it just becomes your normal. So I guess you're used to it, maybe? I don't fucking know. I just know that our prime time is perfectly situated live at 8, 9, sometimes 10 o'clock, depending on what the program is. But that got me thinking, that's a fucking side note. Anyway, I think they had no choice but to drop the live from Smackdown. It'll now be known as Friday Night Smackdown. Now, the biggest hit for the Amplified Man, aside from the fact that it is going to be a void that I'm going to have to get used to, not having Pro Wrestling Smackdown on Tuesday nights. Now, I'm sure like many of you, the Amplified Man will find plenty of things to occupy that time on Tuesday nights, trust me. But it's still going to take some getting used to, because for so long, Tuesday nights were all of our Smackdown nights, and that's all of our past years. So we kind of got acclimated and used to it. And on the flip side, now we're going to Friday nights where that company is asking millions of people to sit down on their Friday night, the start of the weekend, to watch a product that for the last 10 years has been lackluster to say the least. They better be giving us a plethora of reasons as to why we should sit down on our Friday nights. And for the Amplified Man, the very next morning when the weekend is really kicked into high gear, and Saturday morning I'm spending reviewing Friday Night Smackdown. I hope I'm interested, intrigued, excited, and motivated to give those reviews. In all honesty, guys, I might be giving those Saturday morning reviews for Friday Night Smackdown in the car taking a trip somewhere. Because while everybody thinks my biggest conundrum is what am I going to do with AEW and NXT on Wednesday nights, what am I going to do with that review? Am I going to combine them into one? Am I going to separate them into 2 different reviews and put them both out on Thursday? Or maybe AEW or NXT on Thursday and the other one will get a Friday night review? Or Friday morning review? I don't know yet, to be honest. I still have to iron out those details, but something that is more of a conundrum than that for me is what am I going to do about Friday Night Smackdown? I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch Friday Night Smackdown on Friday nights live because, again, I have a life. Like many of you are probably not going to be able to catch it on Fridays because you probably have a life. And then Saturday morning, first thing, I'm supposed to sit down and do at least a half an hour review. And I say at least because I have to give you guys the very best or I don't want to do it at all. You guys deserve the best review or nothing. I'm not going to do it half-ass. That means at least a half an hour needs to be dedicated to these reviews. I want to do it for you guys, no question, because you have from day one showed me the love and support that I try to give right back to you guys, and it's reciprocated tenfold. So I want to do it for you guys, no doubt. I hope they give me that motivation to do such. But on top of that, I do many things on the weekends, guys. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. You might seriously, a lot of the time, be getting a review in the car. Maybe I'm on the way to somewhere, or maybe I am somewhere already. And I'm still going to give you guys a badass review. It's just going to be from my fucking Audi. That's right, don't player hate. But that might be the fucking case, guys. I don't know how I'm going to do. Starting in October, everything changes. It's going to be hard enough to do 2 reviews at once for AEW and NXT. And then it's going to be really hard to do a Friday night show for the weekend. Everything changes for all of us. And especially the Amplified man doing these reviews. I have no fucking idea. So when I say it's the end of an era, like I just said 5 minutes ago, basically, I mean it's an end of an era. Everything changes. Not just the name change, but this thing's going on a totally different network on a totally different night. And that, my friends, what you saw last night on the USA Network for SmackDown, that was the final SmackDown Live on the USA Network ever. If it comes back in 10, 15, 20 years, it'll never be what it was. It'll be a totally different era at that point. It'll be a totally different product at that point. We will never again see this show. For a lot of people, that is a blessing, I know. But let's not player hate here. SmackDown has been the better show since it's been on the USA Network. It has been better than Monday Night Raw most weeks. So we really can't hate on it too much. We'll see what Fox ushers in. Right now we have high expectations and high hopes. Let's hope that we can keep those expectations going forward, and let's also hope that they meet those expectations going forward. Let's go on to the review itself, guys. That was my opening monologue. A sad little shedding of a tear for no more SmackDown on USA Network, and maybe even another couple of tears for no more wrestling on Tuesday nights, and now we all have to fucking hunker down on Friday nights. Good luck telling your girlfriends what you're fucking gotta do now on Friday nights, guys. Or vice versa, you girls, maybe your boyfriends don't fucking watch wrestling. Good luck telling them, I can't go out, honey. I have to watch wrestling. Unfucking real. Last night, we started off with Erick Rowan. He kicks off SmackDown Live on the mic, and he's reiterating what he said last week in the sit-down interview with Michael Cole. And that is, he feels disrespected. So Daniel Bryan hits the ring, gets in Erick Rowan's face, and says, you feel disrespected? Then fight me right now. I love Daniel Bryan. He always loves stepping up to the bigger dudes. He gives 0 fucks with those big guys. I love it. So after he initiates that challenge, I guess you could say, fight me right now as a challenge, and Erick Rowan takes off his little vest, and a ref just happens to appear in the ring like some Harry Potter shit. Poof! There's a ref, and here we have the bell ringing. So it's an impromptu match, I guess. After just 90 seconds, we go immediately to commercial, of course. We don't pass go. We don't collect our $200. We go directly to commercial. Interestingly enough, while in commercial, I saw an AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite ad play, and then immediately after, an NXT on USA Network ad. But there's no war, right? Yeah. That's a huge LOL if I've ever fucking seen one. They're already trying to battle for our attention, and their battle hasn't even really began yet. But that's not a war. This is the calm before the storm. Trust me, things are gonna get real volatile real soon between NXT and AEW. 2 back-to-back ads during that commercial. Back from commercial, Daniel Bryan is in top form. I love when, again, he takes it to these big guys because he just gives 0 fucks about their size. Just doesn't. At that point, Daniel Bryan is 10 feet tall. He just doesn't care. And he taps into a whole nother level of full throttle with these big dudes too, I've realized. You know, obviously he can go with the AJ Styles and the Shinsuke's and the Ali's. There's no question. That's where he's kind of honed into. But when he takes it to these big guys, man, there's another level of Full Throttle that he takes it to, and I absolutely love it. And it was the same thing here with Erick Rowan. Daniel Bryan was in tip-top shape and form. And Rowan, you got to give credit to, because it's not easy to wrestle somebody as good as Daniel Bryan, especially when they're in top form. But for the most part, Erick Rowan kept pace with D-Bry. The finish saw Luke Harper hit ringside for a distraction. And this led to Erick Rowan grabbing the skull of Daniel Bryan, and he went for his little crane slam, but D-Bry's foot got caught in the ropes. At first it was a little, oh, that sucks situation, but then you realized they couldn't get his foot out. Erick Rowan tried, to no avail. The referee tried, to no avail. Daniel Bryan's foot was stuck, and I didn't really think it was a serious situation until Daniel Bryan started yelling out, "Get me out! Get me out!" And the ref starts yelling, I'm trying! And then you know this is a real situation, and it's kind of turned into a little bit of a scary situation. Like, you don't know if he's seriously getting hurt. It looked pretty bad. So Erick Rowan had to come back, pretty much pick him up, so the ref could get the foot unlodged. And then we went into another crane slam. The first one, when Luke Harper first distracted him and Bryan was on the outside and Erick Rowan picked him up and crane slammed him, that was supposed to be the pinfall, guys. 1, 2, 3. But Daniel Bryan again got his foot caught, so they had to redo the move. So once his foot got unlodged, there was a second crane slam, and that's where we got the 1, 2, 3. So that's why it was messy. It definitely was a botch. But it was just a mistake, man. I mean, Daniel Bryan's foot got caught. What can you do in that scenario? That is just one of those, that's one of those freak accidents, you know, that kind of messed up the finish. Obviously, it would have been better if it was right off of the distraction of Luke Harper. But such is not the case. Again, it was the crane slam, and that was a 1, 2, 3. Erick Rowan gets the pinfall on Daniel Bryan. It looked like Daniel Bryan was okay. He was selling it afterwards, but it looked like he was okay. We'll receive more word on that later this afternoon, I'm sure. Post-match, Harper and Rowan went for a post-match beating on D-Bry, but Roman Reigns' music hits. Roman hits the ring, and for the next couple of minutes, it's sheer chaos. But when it was all said and done, D-Bry and Roman Reigns are left in the ring staring out at Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. D-Bry grabs a mic, and he asked the fans if they want to see him and Roman Reigns kick their disrespectful asses, meaning Rowan and Harper, obviously. And of course, the fans in unison, yes, yes. So a couple of segments later, that match was made official for Hell in a Cell. Rowan and Harper versus Roman and Daniel Bryan. So that was the whole first half an hour of SmackDown, guys. Not the match itself, but the whole segment in its entirety. The mic job with Erick Rowan and Daniel Bryan on the mic, then the actual match, then the post-match extracurricular activities. It all took the better part of the first half an hour of SmackDown, and it was all just a lead to Roman and Bryan versus Harper and Rowan. All right, we'll take that match, right? I mean, there's been enough build. Hell in a Cell is already looking really stacked and dynamite anyway. No offense, AEW, I'm going to steal that dynamite word. But it is looking pretty jacked up and stacked. So I'll take that match as well, man, if you want to put that in the mid-card somewhere. I don't need to see that anywhere near the main event, and I don't need to see that match kicking off Hell in a Cell, because that always sets the pace. I don't know if I need to see a Harper-Rowan match setting the pace for the night. But I'm okay with that tag match. I'm okay with that whole opening of SmackDown, to be honest with you. I don't know if it needed to take a half an hour, but it did. But we could have gotten a lot worse. I'll take it. Let's move on with our number one. Enough said on that. We go into a Michael Cole sit-down interview with Kofi Kingston. Kofi says, and I quote, "I'm at the top of my game. I've beaten Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and many more. I mean, some of the best wrestlers in the world I've beaten. I've worked too damn hard for too long, and I'm not ready to give this title up just yet." Those are big words. Does he now say all of that and just 1 week later drop that strap to Brock Lesnar next Friday night? I don't know, man. Kofi's talking a big game, and for good reason. He has beaten all those sumbitches. You know, I think if he was a little bit more away from the New Day, and he didn't stuff as many pancakes between his waist and his strap, then maybe Kofi Kingston would have been taken even more seriously. But regardless, if you really think about his laundry list of people he's beaten, it's been a pretty damn good title reign. Whether you think it's gone stale or not. We'll see what happens next week, man. It's going to be a badass main event caliber match, no question. Brock and Kofi. We then go into Chad Gable. He defeats Mike Kanellis in about 30 seconds. Post-match, Elias appears on the Tron and says, "Hey, Shorty, I've been following your story and it inspired me. So I wrote you a song." And sure enough, Elias performs his pretty much diss track on Chad Gable. Basically, just a bunch of lines talking about how short he is. And he performs this diss track for the entire arena and an unamused Chad Gable. Clearly, we have Chad Gable's next feud already lined up, and his name is Elias. That could be intriguing, but does that mean that the Baron Corbin feud is already over? I mean, doesn't Chad Gable and Baron already have a one-on-one type thing going? Baron won match number 1 2 weeks ago in the King of the Ring final, and then last week on Raw, Chad Gable just won. Via DQ, but it's still a victory. So isn't that 1-1? We need the rubber match now. And not only that, but they have great chemistry together, and we all actually want to see Gable versus Corbin Part 3. Let's get a definitive winner. But it looks like they're bringing Elias in, and maybe we're not going to get Baron Corbin and Chad Gable. Maybe they have something planned for the brand split, and that's going to be it for the two. I have no fucking idea. Or maybe we get Gable and Baron Corbin Part 3, and they're already just lining up Elias because they see something in Gable, and they want to keep the momentum going. There's a wild concept. Do I give WWE that much benefit of the doubt? Key phrase there, key word is doubt. Highly doubt that. But it's possible. Hour number 1 ends. In the second, like this is Monday Night Raw. Hour 1 ends and hour number 2 begins with Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Charlotte and Carmela. Roughly 6 minutes in total, but I like this match. For me, watching Sasha Banks work and do what she does best is a privilege. And seeing Bayley continue to play up this now heel persona is so refreshing. Charlotte is obviously just really good, enough said about her, but Carmela gelled really flawlessly in this whole thing. Carmela, obviously, no disrespect to her, and without throwing any shade to Carmela, she clearly would have been the weak link out of the 4. But she wasn't. She flowed beautifully, and the finish was just badass, with Sasha Banks hitting the statement submission off of a Carmela roll-up and Mela taps. These bank statements are like RKOs lately, coming out of nowhere. I loved it on Monday out of the crossbody from Nikki Cross, and this roll-up from Carmela went right into a bank statement, or at least the submission part of it. Loving these bank statements lately. Again, coming out of nowhere, and I'm loving it. They're looking badass, and Sasha's being booked beautifully. Correctly, finally. Becky hits the ring post-match because Bayley and Sasha were going to do some extracurricular activities post-match. Becky hits the ring and clears the ring. At first I'm thinking, come on, dude. Becky is going to take out Sasha and Bayley. But at the end of the night, I was smiling, I'm sure, with a lot of Sasha marks because we got the ultimate W at the end of the night. And even if we didn't get what happened at the end of the night, I was okay with this. Sasha was booked strong. Her and Bayley get the W. And Becky comes in fresh and gets 30 seconds of the upper hand. Sasha and Bayley retreat, and you can play it off as just, they'll wait. They got a game plan. They'll let Becky get this little victory over the battle, but the ultimate victory on the war will go to Sasha and Bayley. You can believe that. You can implement that in your dome piece if you're a fan of Sasha and Bayley or just a fan of correct booking. So I didn't mind that anyway, but the end of the night, we would have some extracurricular activity that would really be fucking refreshing to the Sasha Banks character and what needs to be done right now, and that's making her look badass. I'll get to that in a few minutes. But this match, Sasha and Bayley defeating Charlotte and Carmela, I liked it. Again, it was only about 6 minutes in length, but everything was done correctly, and I like what I saw from Carmela, man. She could have easily made this thing a train wreck. She gelled beautifully with the other 3 ladies. I liked it. At the end of this thing, Carmela was being chased by a plethora of females trying to go after the 24/7 title. Some of these women contained Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. I'm going to say that one more time. Running after the 24/7 championship, running after Carmela, was Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Ember Moon. Did you visualize that? Oh yeah, Kairi Sane had her fucking whole telescope gimmick too. As she's running, she's like looking through a telescope. Ember Moon is running full throttle, like this is the biggest moment of her day, and it probably is. Put the fucking Game Boy down for a second and actually do something. Then again, when she found out what she was doing, she probably wanted to hide behind that Game Boy. But Ember Moon, look, the way she was running was like this is the biggest thing in her life. Marriage, having kids, going to fucking Disney World, none of it matters. I'm chasing after this 24/7 championship. The look on her face was that of somebody who just is gonna get this motherfucker. Her face made me laugh. You see Kairi Sane with the telescope, it made me fucking laugh. Asuka doesn't even know where she is. She's so far removed from the situation, I really don't even think she gives a fuck anymore. And that's why I laugh at it now. What am I supposed to do? Flip out every fucking time now, guys? What am I supposed to do? Nothing's changing there. If they don't stand up for themselves, there's nothing more I can do. I'm not gonna take years off of my fucking life hooting and hollering about the same shit every fucking week. When nothing's changing, it's just getting more fucking tragic. So now they're finding other things to do. Asuka had to go and create a fucking YouTube channel. She's more relevant on that than she is in WWE. She's probably happier with that than where she is in WWE. You know? Ember Moon, I rant and rave about how bad that was Monday night, and what do? They put her in an even worse situation Tuesday night. I don't know what more I can say. I've said everything about how they're being used or misused, misutilized. I like the 24/7 title concept, guys. As long as they don't make it a circus act every time, like just people running around and chasing each other in simplistic roll-ups every single time. But guess what? That's what they've done. Non-stop chases and simplistic roll-ups. If they stop that shit, I liked the concept. I liked when Carmela got it Monday because I started thinking, the women can kind of have some fun with this now. I didn't mean throwing Ember, Kairi, and Asuka into it. I might as well get to a match in the second hour, guys. I don't know if it was next or not. I don't think it was, but Asuka and Kairi actually had a match later, thankfully. Try to rectify any semblance of fucking respect. Get that back. Asuka and Kairi defeated Fire and Desire later in the night. As always, during a Sonya Deville match, I'm distracted by the multicolored beach towel attached to her ass. I'm all for promoting what you want to promote. That's awesome. And what's the word, guys? Fucking, everybody being treated the same. What's that fucking, what the fuck is that called? I'll stay here all fucking day. I'll make this a 2-hour video. I will get this word. This is gonna make me sound horrible. I can't think of the word. It's gonna make me sound like such an asshole, such a bad guy. Equality! I'm all for it, even though I can't think of the fucking word. I use it in my daily activities. I love equality, and that's awesome what you're supporting with your little multicolored beach towel. But can you shrink it a little bit? Can you make the beach towel a hand towel, Sonya? I'm distracted. She's got a beach towel attached to her ass. It's like a flying rainbow bouncing off of every corner. Anyway, so yeah, that distracts me. But listen, the match itself was a mess. Yes, obviously. Because you have two people that haven't been on TV in the longest time and probably are fucking just removed from the whole equation, like Kairi Sane and Asuka, and I don't blame them. They don't want to, they're mentally checked out. And it's Fire and Desire. They're still trying to get where they need to be and where we want them to be. So, yeah, this was a little bit of a mess. But who gives a shit? In the end, Asuka and Kairi won the match, and that's all that matters. We've all been blessed with not only an appearance that matters with Asuka and Kairi. Okay, maybe not matters, but at least they're in a fucking match, wrestling, doing what they fucking worked their whole life to do. Not chasing people around the arena. Or playing fucking Nintendo in the back. But they had a wrestling match. That's the first blessing. The second blessing is they actually were rewarded a W. They got a victory. And the commentary team afterwards started talking about the tag team division in the titles and how they're very much back in the title race. Are they? You're just gonna kind of swing that carrot in front of us and then take it away again like you always fucking do? Are you really gonna ever give Kairi and Asuka championships? Okay, I'll believe that when I see it. Anyway, that was a little bit of redemption for Asuka and Kairi. What about Ember? No redemption for her. Last we saw of her on Tuesday, she was chasing Carmela. She was in full throttle run mode, and she probably did not stop running. She probably is still running at this very moment as far away from that company as humanly possible. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's fucking Ember Moon getting the hell out of Dodge. Anyway. The second hour match-wise actually started. That Asuka, Kairi, Fire and Desire match, that was actually during the second hour, yes. But that didn't start the second hour. Hour 2 actually started with Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura. They tried this last week, but that just turned into a beatdown on Ali before the match even got off the ground. So this is kind of take 2, if you think about it. Ali took some nasty bumps in this match, guys. Legit made me cringe. At one point, dude legit landed on his head on the outside mat in a failed dive attempt. Well, maybe not failed. I mean, he did connect with Shinsuke, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to take yourself out in the process. The finish saw Ali distracted by Sami Zayn and walked right into a Kinshasa. Nakamura collects another W. Kind of sad for Ali. You've seen his momentum not only derailed, but he's kind of taken a back seat. But for Shinsuke, you gotta be happy. This guy is collecting W's at a rapid rate, and it looks like he's relevant again. This is refreshing to see. See where it heads going into Hell in a Cell, obviously. The New Day is out next. Woods and E versus the B team. Byron Saxton says in regards to Big E, and Big E took down his little fucking, his straps from his little outfit there. And Byron Saxton says, the straps are already down. That's how you know it's going to be a good night. And Corey Graves looks over at Saxton and replies, oh yeah? Is that how you know, Saxton? What the fuck? Dude, how do you not laugh at that, man? Byron Saxton says, when Big E took his straps down, Byron Saxton said, that's how you know it's going to be a good night. If that doesn't fit Saxton's character, man, we love Saxton, dude. He's so funny. Big E's taking his straps down and showing some chest. And Byron says, that's how you know it's going to be a good night. And Corey Graves, just fucking so matter-of-fact, so dry humor, just says, oh yeah, Saxton? Is that how you know? I loved it, guys. Come on. That's the only review I have of this match. The New Day wins in 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, New Day wins. And then they play the trumpet and they dance around the ring. The New Day is stale to me. What do you want me to say, guys? There's nothing more I can tell you. There's no excitement when the New Day hits the ring. It's done. It's over. There's no character development. We're seeing the same New Day that we saw years ago. How are you excited about this? I asked this question and nobody can give me a fucking an answer, a response that's coherent. That's fucking like makes sense. Aside from the fact that this is the best place for them, BC. I like them still, BC. I'm still a fan of them, BC. I'm asking how? What are they doing that you didn't see years ago? There's no development. Don't you want to see a little bit of a heel turn or maybe Big E do a badass singles push? Not just be a third wheel? Let's see what Xavier really has on his own. A champion all along that was by himself in Kofi Kingston would have been a blessing in disguise. Guys, what is up next for the New Day? I'm asking this seriously. Are they going to win the tag championships for the 100th time? Are we all going to be excited? Wow, New Day 100 times. Or are we going to see, what's the alternative? Either they're going for the tag straps for the 100th time, we've already seen it 99 times, or the other alternative is another 6-man schmaz match with the New Day, which I've seen a million times. That's what I mean. There's nothing else you can do with them. It is stale, man. If you're honestly a fan of them and you're intrigued and you're happy to see them and you're excited every fucking moment they're out there, that's awesome, dude. I'm not trying to derail your excitement. I'm saying for me, it's my review and you want my honest thoughts, I'm giving them to you. I have no emotion at all when the New Day... I take that back. That is a lie, actually. That's not honesty. When the New Day's music hits, I actually have this feeling of, oh, fuck, here we go again. A momentary depression. Because I know nothing that is about to happen within the next 10-minute time slot is going to pique my interest one iota. So yes, that Byron Saxton, Corey Graves, those lines were the review on this whole match. That was the best part of this whole entire match. Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. If you were excited for that 2-minute victory over the B team, that's all you, dog. Do your thing. We already went over Asuka and Kyrie and Fire and Desire. That match was up next in that slot, but again, we already went over it. The main event wasn't actually a match. It was Shane McMahon in the ring with his lawyers. Owens comes through the crowd and into the ring. Shane McMahon offers to reinstate Kevin Owens if Owens drops the $1 million lawsuit. Was it $1 million? Some shit, right? I don't know. It was a hefty fucking price, I'll tell you that much. What is it, fucking $20 million? It doesn't fucking matter. It's a lot of money. Owens says no. It's not about the money or a clean slate. It's about getting rid of you. And challenges Shane to a ladder match, which we believe to be at Hell in a Cell, but knowing WWE, maybe they want to promote this for SmackDown's debut on Fox. But it looks to be more Hell in a Cell. It could be either one of those shows. But Kevin Owens challenged him to a ladder match, and suspended up high won't be a championship, but it'll be all the paperwork in one of Shane McMahon's lawyer's briefcase. That's what Owens said. So that'll be dangling up high. And if Owens wins, he's back on his terms. He fought his way back. He wasn't just reinstated by Shane. And if Shane wins... if Shane wins, then he's totally gone and he drops the lawsuit. So Owens is gone and he drops the lawsuit. And if Owens wins, then he's reinstated on his terms, and it wasn't just given to him by Shane, but also Shane McMahon is gone from the WWE. Basically, Owens will have the right to basically fire Shane McMahon from WWE. So, hopefully you got all that, man. Those are the stipulations. That's a stipulated match, being a ladder match. We don't exactly know. Maybe as of this morning, we do know when that's going to take place, actually. But that was Smackdown Live. That was the final Smackdown Live on the USA Network, guys. So, the end of an era. Kind of sad. I'm not a big fan of change, actually. I acclimate well to it. I do really good with change, which is odd because I don't like change. But for me, I do look at it as an end of an era in the relationship that they had with the USA Network. You know, at one point, Tom Phillips actually said, we want to take a moment to thank the USA Network wholeheartedly for basically their hospitality for the past several years. And, you know, the Amplify man was like, aw, you know what I mean? Because this is it's a passing of the torch, the changing of the guard. And now Fox is going to get that torch and see where they can go with it and see what they can do with it. And we really have those expectations. They're so high. Deep breath, everybody. Deep breath. Starting next week, everything changes in the wrestling business. SmackDown goes over to Fox. AEW is going to premiere their new Wednesday night show. We're going to have another war on our hands with NXT and AEW, and we'll see where that goes. Man, and again, with these season premieres, we might be getting pyro back, new entrance themes, new sets. A lot of change starts next week. Woo! We're ready for it, man. We've been ready for years, you know? Now let's just hope that the action and the superstars and the booking and the creativity, everything follows suit and changes for the better. Tonight is NXT on USA, guys. And tomorrow morning, you can bet your ass, I will be reviewing NXT show tonight. 2 hours. I believe the first hour will be on the USA Network. And because they have a show called Suits that has its series finale or season or series finale. I think it's a series finale of Suits. But either way, they have their finale during these 2 hours. So the first hour will be on USA, and then for the second hour, you got to go over to the WWE Network, just like last week. Now, last week, a lot of us had an issue with that. So again, we're going to put it on earlier, but even when I did that last week, I still had issues with the WWE Network. So hopefully we see the whole 2 hours in full. And we'll see what they can produce, guys. This is their last show, NXT's, before they go head-to-head with AEW starting next week. But again, I digress. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. We'll talk all about what NXT produced later on tonight. The Amplified Man. For now, baby. Check this shit out, guys. I'm all bruised up, guys. That was from yesterday. If you saw the second video I put out yesterday, I put another one out after the Raw review. It was just about how Smackdown is demanding even more from Vince McMahon. And they want one of Vince's top superstars on the blue brand now. Check that video out. I got extra amplified and bruised myself up pretty good. But you know what? That doesn't stop us from re-amplifying. The Amplified Man. Check you guys tomorrow. Yowie wowie. Check you later.